Good morning, YouTube, or afternoon, or evening, either way. Hello and welcome to my channel. Thank you for dropping in to have a look today. I'm not going to make too much of an intro, so I'm going to get right into the makeup look. And I was feeling something very dramatic and pagan-y today, so that's what we're going for. So I'm going to start with my base. And at the moment I am using the Apio Cushion XP Airfit in color number 21, and we're only going to be using it just on areas, sunlight, just on areas where I have any specific blemishes or this particular redness around my nose at the moment. So it's more a little bit of a spot correcting type of an idea as opposed to a full face of makeup. I do have quite a bit of redness around my nose at the moment. It is important to make sure that it's at least blended nicely. Fingers are great for that. And I'm not going to be putting it anywhere else on my face because it is completely unnecessary to put it elsewhere. So then we're going into concealer, and I am currently as a concealer using the Dark Circle Corrector Concealer by NYX in the color Fair. To start with the covering of blemishes, I'm going to be using a fluffier brush because it allows you to blur the concealer around the blemishes. And I have a couple of spots that are a bit annoying at the moment. I don't know, something in the weather has upset my skin. So yeah, I use this brush to apply, and then I pat. And that's that for concealing the blemishes. And I'm going to be putting a little bit around and under my eye. And I'm going to be using a flat concealer brush. I'm going to put the excess a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to put it where I need it. I'm actually going to zoom you in for this. Now, concealer doesn't erase all the problems with regards to the coloration under my eyes, but it does help brighten it a little bit, and overall it's about looking slightly more awake and a little less corpse-like. So there, I'm going to have some serious struggle with this sunbeam over here. Rude! And finally, I'm going to set some of the areas of my face because they either crease or they tend to get a little bit too shiny, though I don't necessarily mind that natural glow of a highlight. This sunbeam is going to drive me absolutely insane. I've repositioned myself a little bit to see if I now have better positioning with regards to the sunbeam. So I am going to be using the Peach Cotton Pore Sun Packed. It has an SPF in it, but powder SPFs only work if you're packing on the powder, and that's not the point of setting your makeup. Particularly if you have dry skin, things like baking look really great on camera, but look really cakey in real life. And that's not a look I'm going for. So I'm going to take this little bit of powder on this puff and just set a little bit. We are not baking, we are not packing on too much. I A, don't have oily skin, and B, I don't need to use stage makeup techniques for my everyday life. because that is what baking is, by the by. It's a stage makeup technique that is used to keep your makeup caked in place when you're on stage, under lighting and that sort of thing. It's also used by drag queens to carve their face out. The only areas of my face that ever get greasy is right here around my nose and just a little bit on my forehead. I've also patted it on anywhere where I have concealer to help that stay put better. So before I get more ranty about baking, we're going to focus on my base makeup. Not base makeup, whatever. So I'm going to be using the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. It is very covered in dust because it's a suede cover, which whoever decided that is very stupid, because it just attracts dust, and no matter what you do, you cannot get that dust off anymore. Let me take this double-ended brush out that I've never used, and I'm going to be focusing on Rustic and Cypress Umber. Those are going to be my main colors of today. I'm going to be taking a brush that needs cleaning. By the way, hair donut, just one of those like hair donuts, and a brush. It removes some of the pigmentation so that you're not getting any pigment on it. It's a temporary brush cleaner to remove powder. So I'm going to be using this flattish, it's not completely flat, slightly fluffy, but flatter, Real Technique brush. This is medium shadow brush. And we're going to be using that to pack the color Rustic from before all over my lid. Heads up about this palette, the colors are super pigmented. So this sunbeam really is going to drive me absolutely insane. Oh, I love this color. It flatters my eye color so well. Ow, sunbeams right in my eyeballs. Ugh, ow. Alright. Make sure that this color is even, or even enough. Okay, and let me, there, I can see on my monitor a little bit better what I'm doing at the moment. Now we're going into the color Cypress Umber to deepen the crease. And for that, I'm actually going to be using this fluffier brush. It's also at the same time a blending brush, but oh well. Into the Cypress Umber we go. Shades. So pretty. If the lighting's being weird, the sun is kind of creeping in and out from behind clouds. Every time I seem to film at the moment, everything's super sunny. Not necessarily mad, I'm very happy to see the sun, but I'm also just like, could you not? I'm wondering if I need to do anything particularly interesting about the eye shape today, but I think I'm going to leave it as is. Yeah, good enough. Base colors are done. The only thing that's left is to add a little bit of shimmer to the inner corner and lower lash line a little bit. And for that, I'm going to be going into my NYX Perfect Filter Rustic Antique palette. And I think I'm going to be using this shade here, right there. I'm going to tightline my eyes using this Proof 10 gel pencil liner from Etude House. Not my preferred type of pencil liner because this is a twisty up one and it's just mainly plastic, but we'll finish this one before I consider purchasing a different one. Eventually I'm just going to end up sitting up against this cupboard. Fun thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be using a white gel liner. This is the NYX Gel Liner and Smudger in the color white. And I'm going to be doing this because it seems like it'd be so much fun. So I'm going to be taking a... Hey, I'm sorry if my eye makeup looks a little bit different. I've had to reapply it. I was using a white eyeliner that has become too sticky, so it doesn't actually apply the way it should. It makes me really sad, but I think I will only be able to use it for other things, or I'm going to have to, like, does not feel pleasant. And like, also this is just, look at how it pulls on my skin and I'm not even applying pressure. So that's sad. Maybe I'll be able to get it to function again, but I think sadly that time is done. We'll see. I'll see if I can revive it to a certain degree. My fingers are covered in white, but sad. So I'm gonna go wash my hands right now and then I'll get back into the makeup. Okay, so I'm back. Good Lord, I can barely get it off. There's still some left on my hand and my hand's gone bright red trying to get this stuff off. Definitely not using that for anything ever again. This is going straight into the bin because it should not be that difficult when I compare it with its sibling in brown. This gel eyeliner works fine. I think I'm going to be applying it with this little flat brush. I'm going to be so happy when this just glides on. I almost wish this were an even darker brown. So I'm going to wait for that eyeliner to set a little bit on my eyes before I do anything like mascara. But what I am going to do is be adding some fun little details. And it's going to be fun when I try to contour that. Oh well. I'm going to clean the brush on the back of my hand just to illustrate, look how smooth this stuff goes. Ugh. Alright. I've got eyeliner all over me now. Okay, while I let that set a little bit, I'm going to be doing my brows. I'm going to be using the NYX Professional Makeup Eyebrow Powder Pencil. Okay, so I have a good brow and a bad brow. This is my bad brow, or the one that's more annoying to do, and this is the brow that's really easy. I always start on the annoying side, because the other one's easier to get to shape, like the annoying side. And I'm going to brush them through to blend the color properly instead of it being, oh, instead of it being weird, harsh lines. You kind of want it to look like your brows are naturally this color. Well, my brows are naturally this color, but they're not quite as filled in as this stuff pretends my brows are. I'm going to be putting in some brow gel. This is the NYX Bear With Me. It is in the color Clear. And it's just to keep these ridiculously long hairs in place and make my brows nice and wild. Because otherwise the hairs won't stand up the way I want them to. And before I put my eyebrow pencil away, you can tell I have a spot here and a small one here by my eye that are not quite as pigmented at the moment. So I use my eyebrow pencil to kind of accentuate them. There. Okay, next. I'm going to curl my lashes and put on my mascara. I don't know if you'll end up hearing it as background noise, but it's super stormy outside. It's so windy. It's been really windy for the past couple days. It's absolutely terrifying. Alright. Here it goes. Removed some of my gel eyeliner. Fascinating. Today's a day of makeup adventures and things not working the way I want them to. I'll fix it when my mascara is dry, I guess. So now I'm going to get into the rest of my face makeup while my mascara dries so that I can then fix my eyeliner. It's one of those makeup days. So I'm going to be starting with contour, and that will be done with the NYX High Definition Blush in Taupe, because this is a fantastic contour shade if you are cool toned and super pale. And you don't want to use gray, which also works, but looks a little bit more, it works better, the gray works better if you're using actual like white foundation and you're going for that look. I also have a suitable gray for that, so. Next I'm going to be taking this fluffy crease brush and contour the sides of my nose. And under the bottom lip. Next, blush. This is the Apio Juicy Pang Jelly Blusher in 002. And though it's like a jelly blush, it almost feels like a liquid, but it's a really, really soft powder. I'm going to start by putting some on my finger. And then just patting it on like that. Because it gives me the pigmentation I want, but if I'm going for a very gentle blush, you can just use a brush. And over the bridge of the nose. So I like almost looking sunburnt, is really what we're getting at here with the blush. It's a stylistic choice. Now I am going to take my usual blush brush to blend this a little bit so that it's not quite as sharp with regards to like the edges of it. as for highlight, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal La Vie en Glow palette, but I'm going to be dipping into these two golden shades. I will say it gives a beautiful glow. So if you are looking for a highlight palette that has a multitude of options and you don't want to have like loose individual highlights, I highly recommend this because all of the highlight options in here are gorgeous. So we're just highlighting the high points of the face. And before I get questions, what's the occasion? This is just what I like to do for my makeup, for my face. Right. Hard part, lipsticks. I like going dramatic. But the lipstick I can choose is very annoying. Well, I can always take it off if I'm too annoyed. So I'm going to be using a Zoeva lipstick. Not necessarily a huge fan of this one, but it's the color I have, and this is Outstanding. It's this kind of dark burgundy brownish color, I guess. It does not agree with my lips. I appear to be allergic to something in it. It dries out my lips like crazy, but to complete the look, it's probably the best choice. Unless I can pull a different color out of my hat. Not at the moment, I think. I'm going to have to find a replacement for this color, but it may actually be too red tone for this. Ah, hell. But that's just me being a perfectionist about it. Right, so I'm going to finish getting ready and I'll be right back. So here I am, all ready for the rest of my day. I am jeweled up, earrings are in, my hair is fabulous. I got it touched up yesterday, so it is in its most beautifulest glory of color at the moment. And yeah, that was the look. I hope you had a lot of fun watching me mess around and fail with some of my makeup things. Oh, good Lord. That was a bit of an adventure today. I hope that you may have learned something interesting. If there is any information that about something that I'm doing that you want to know, please let me know down below. And that's really it. I'd love to know any feedback from you guys. Do let me know if there is anything you feel that I could improve on, or anything like that, aside from, you know, using really old makeup products that are no longer suitable for use. Because that's a lesson I learned by myself just now. Aside from that, I hope you have a lovely day. Have fun, be good, drink your water, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!